Mel Kiper released his latest mock draft 3.0, and it has Shedeur Sanders going to the New York Giants. But I want to talk more about the Cleveland Browns on today's episode and explain why it will be a huge mistake for the Cleveland Browns to pass on Shedeur Sanders. Plus, Ian Rappaport is speculating that Aaron Rodgers may hold out his decision till after the draft. Oh, you know I gotta cook something on today's episode. But before we get right into it, you gotta hear the music first.
Welcome to your number one spot for all NFL news and content, NFL Central.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into another episode of NFL Central, your number one spot for everything NFL. If you're tuned in with me today, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. And make sure you stay locked in for those episodes that are set to drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless the season starts to kick up a little bit more. Like, for instance, the combine, and we're going to be heading to the draft. Those moments will be a lot more. At those moments, you will see a lot more from myself and Steve-O and the other guys partaking in and contributing to the channel. And you can help contribute it too by hitting that like button and subscribing. But let's talk about it. Now, Mel Kiper, one of the guys that's been a part of the draft process for decades and constantly dropping out different mock drafts out there to try to see how, if he can hit on certain things when they, or try to speculate or try to understand the direction that certain teams will go. He's been doing this for a very long time. You take it for what you will, but I'm going to take this for what I will and look at 3.0, and more specifically having the Cleveland Browns just saying to hell with Shedeur Sanders and drafting Abdul Carter. Now, I just want to preface this and say I do not believe Abdul Carter is not worthy of being selected high in this draft. However, when you talk about the Cleveland Browns, there is no way you do not take one of the best prospects in this draft, probably the best prospect as a quarterback in this draft. You can pick if you like Cam Ward a little bit better, cool, that's fine and dandy. I don't really have too much pushback on that, but I think that the Tennessee Titans, they're going to go out there with the number one overall pick and select Cam Ward. That in return, you as the Cleveland Browns at number 2 should not draft Abdul Carter at number 2. And it's not because he's not a spectacular player. It's not because he's a hell of a pass rusher. It's simply because you have a quarterback issue that you need to address as the Cleveland Browns. Mel Kiper had Shedeur going to the Giants. And if you're the Browns and you allow that to happen, you're just setting yourself back for years to come if you continue to hang and hit your wagon on a Deshaun Watson train. You will look like a fool, in my personal opinion. Now, we don't know if Shedeur Sanders is going to be a hell of a quarterback in this draft, but you need to swing to see if you can swing for the fences. When you talk about Shedeur Sanders, you're looking at a guy that's a winner. Maybe not the best accolades, maybe not the best or the greatest success during his time in Colorado, but let's keep it a grand. At Jackson State, the man was a winner. He elevated that program. When he went over there to Colorado in the Buffs, he elevated that program. And they did have their deficiencies that kind of held the team back, but he was still able to come out there and ball for Colorado. And he's confident in shit. This is a confidence kid. This is a confident kid who did come from who does come from a background to where his father is probably the best cornerback in the NFL. And he's going to walk around and talk a little different than most NFL players who maybe had to get it out the mud just to, make a name for themselves. And Shedeur Sanders, just having that Sanders last name and being affiliated with Primetime, you know that it's gonna come with some stuff, and you're gonna be handed some things too, just simply off your name. But you cannot deny that the man has talent. He has worked his tail off to get to this point where he is right now. And if you are looking at Deshaun Watson, Cleveland, you're looking at a guy that is broken. If you are looking at Deshaun Watson, Cleveland Browns, you are looking at a guy that is no longer the guy that was in Houston. You're not looking at that guy anymore. Can he maybe encapsulate some of that stuff back? Maybe, but we've got 3 years of evidence to say it's hard to believe. So, Cleveland Browns, stop fooling with yourself. Stop trying to justify it. You got at some point to stop being knuckleheads and figure it out. Why not go out there and get yourself another quarterback to maybe light a fire under Deshaun Watson's ass, allow Shedeur Sanders to come in and compete. And if Deshaun Watson beats him out or is around for another year or two, you allow Shedeur Sanders to learn behind a great offensive mind in Kevin Stefanski. We look at Kevin Stefanski, or at least I do, as being one of the better play callers in the game right now, who is able and has been capable of getting the most out of his quarterbacks, except Deshaun Watson. Does it really make sense? No, it does not. But in 2022, Deshaun Watson only played 6 games. In 2023, Deshaun Watson only played 6 games. In 2024, Deshaun Watson has only played 7 games. We had rotator cuff injuries. We had an Achilles injury last year. And then it was reported earlier this year in January that he had a setback and ruptured the Achilles again. So how stupid are you going to be to not go out there and at least take a bite at the apple with a talented young prospect like this, who has a high football IQ, who has been coached by a Hall of Famer his entire life, and everywhere he's going, he's elevated programs. No, it has not always resulted in championships. No, it has not always resulted in a bunch of accolades. But what you cannot sit up here and tell me is that Deshaun Watson give you any hope to be reaching a Super Bowl anytime soon. You already screwed up your chances by getting rid of Baker Mayfield too damn early, because you wanted to go out there and gamble for a Deshaun Watson, pretty much overpay for him after knowing what we knew and what he was going through during the offseason and all the litigation and all that stuff that was going on in his private life off the field. And then you go out there, you swing for the fences, you say to hell with everything. We're gonna pay you $1 million for the first year while you're suspended. And then you come back and you're gonna get all your money. Okay, cool, fine, dandy. You take a chance like that sometimes. I wouldn't have personally take that chance, but this organization did take that chance. So your expectations of him when he finally came back should have been, hey, we need to see something. So you give him a year. He wasn't there for the entire year. Then you say, okay, we're going to allow him another year. He doesn't get it done. Then you allow him another year. He still doesn't get it done. I can argue that for the time that Deshaun Watson has been in Cleveland, Joe Flacco has been better than him. Hey, it probably sounds crazy, but Jameis Winston has been better than him. It sounds crazy as hell. But when I watch Deshaun Watson play as the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns versus when he's off the field, the team is vibing at a different rate. They're vibing at a different parameter. How can you continuously stick behind this guy? And he's coming off a second surgery of his Achilles. Did we see what the Achilles injury did to Aaron Rodgers? It took him a while to even become decent. And it was still like, bro, your season is over. Now you want to go out there and put up these numbers? It's too damn late. Did we forget how Kirk Cousins looked in Atlanta coming off that Achilles injury? Let's call a spade, y'all. This guy, Deshaun Watson, he fooling them. He fooling them. And if you think he's coming back to be some prosperous quarterback to go out there and compete over guys like a Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or Justin Herbert or Patrick Mahomes, et cetera, in the AFC, playing like the way he's been playing the last 3 years, coming off 2 Achilles surgery, you have lost your mind. And to be quite frank with you, we don't necessarily know if he's going to be ready to start this season. We don't know that. So go out there, don't be foolish, and draft another damn pass rusher when you already have the highest paid pass rusher in the league, one of the greatest pass rushers in the league, knowing that the back end of the first round and early in the second round, where you'll be picking again, there's more pass rushers that'll be a little bit more, you know what I'm saying, that might not live up to an Abdul Carter, might not live up to it, but they still will be able to give you some production lining up across from Myles Garrett because how much attention he's going to draw. And we already know defense, they can help you win championships like the Philadelphia Eagles did this past season in this year's Super Bowl. But to push back on that, you still need a quarterback to keep you in the game. You still need a quarterback to make a spectacular play. You still need a quarterback to go out there and keep the opposing team's offense off the field. You still need a good quarterback to wear defenses down. You still need a good quarterback to be able to take advantage and be able to allow the team to catch a rhythm. I've never seen Deshaun Watson, since returning, help his team feel energized, make them feel belief. I seen the Cleveland Browns have more activity and more belief in Jameis Winston's speeches than Deshaun Watson's play. I seen these guys go out there and fight claw and go to hell for Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, guys. Joe Flacco is on the last limit. He came in, just came off the couch and led the way. You don't get that energy with this guy. His confidence is over with. He looks shattered. He could, quite frankly, which he looked like he ain't got much of a game anymore. He's just a highly paid backup is what it looks like. Call a spade a spade. You cannot continue to run this damn merry-go-round or the same cycle with Deshaun Watson. You pass up on Shedeur Sanders, you just going to continue to just live in limbo. What you going to do? Go out there and sign Russell Wilson? What you going to do? Go out there and wait for Aaron Rodgers? Come on now. Don't make this decision. That's my opinion on it. Y'all let me know how y'all feel down below about it. Do you feel it would be a mistake if the Cleveland Browns pass on Shedeur Sanders and draft Abdul Carter? And I want to make it clear, Abdul Carter is a motherfucking monster. But you can have a hell of a pass rush, but if the offense can't score or put together drives, you ain't winning no games. This is not the early 2000s. This is not the 90s or the 80s. You need a passer that can help the team put up points. That's how the game is played right now. That's how the games are won right now. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it below. Before we get up out of here, I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers. So according to Ian Rappaport, he pretty much believes that Aaron Rodgers could drag out his decision until the damn draft. Going on to say this, do you draft someone that's about a month away so all of us was like this done sooner rather than later? I don't get the sense that Rodgers is in any kind of a hurry at the moment, end quote. What do you mean? See, this is the problem. This is the problem. Business is business. And this guys that make a lot of damn money owning these NFL franchises, bro. But it just gotta be called out, bro. A lot of NFL owners are idiots. Just call it how you see it. Are idiots. The Browns, their ownership, idiots. It's just what it is. And when you talk about the Steelers, they're entering that too. You talk about the Giants, You've been that because what you did to Saquon Barkley. The Steelers has been one of the most coveted franchises for a very long time, and a lot of people are starting to see the writing on the wall when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. What the hell are y'all doing? We love Mike Tomlin. We love what Mike Tomlin can bring to an organization. We love all the speeches. We love all the quotes. We love all the cliches. We love all the fieriness. We do. But we got to call a spade at some point and understand that this ain't working. So for teams to sit up there and wait for Aaron Rodgers, you got to be out your damn mind to wait on a 40-year-old quarterback that's really only going to play another year for your franchise, and then you're back to square one at the end of next season and going into the off season next season, asking yourself, what do we do at quarterback once again? Why wait on this guy? If you are the Pittsburgh Steelers, you already cost yourself a chance at Russell Wilson because I don't necessarily think he'll come back. But if he do, that's on him. I wouldn't do it because it would have been a middle finger to me. I would have threw my middle finger to you. To hell with you. And you've seen that the Pittsburgh Steelers, who had Justin Fields in the building, know it's not the best quarterback. But he's young. He was in your system, and you dropped the ball. How did you drop the ball? Because when he filled in for Russell Wilson, he was 4-2. He came in. He went to the bench, didn't cause any problems, stayed humble, and was just a good teammate. Russell Wilson came in, won some games, and he was trending up. And then he started trending down. And you as the Steelers did not realize at the moment that you weren't going to go anywhere far. And then instead, you said, nah, we're just going to ride out the season with Russell Wilson instead of giving a young quarterback an opportunity to finish off the season to see what else can he give you when the games mean a little bit more in November, December, and January. And you said to hell with it. And then at the end of the season, you pretty much chump changed him and thought that he was going to sit around and wait on y'all and wait on fucking Aaron Rodgers. Steelers, you played yourself. It's really that simple. You played yourself if you are the Pittsburgh Steelers and you thought that you was going to have many, many options and have Justin Fields just sitting on the sideline waiting for you to get your ish together. No, it don't necessarily work like that. My man's Justin Fields saw opportunity. He took it. Russell Wilson looked like he's looking for an opportunity that he's might going to take. And what if Aaron Rodgers say, oh, I got y'all waiting. I'm going to retire instead. So now you are the Pittsburgh Steelers who look even more stupider because you want to sit there and wait on a 40-year quarterback. And let's just say, for the sake of discussion, that Aaron Rodgers does hit up Mike Tomlin and say, all right, I'm coming to Pittsburgh. Okay, then what? 1 year? That's it? 2 years. We'll give you 2 years, Aaron. And then what? Because the Steelers still don't got their shit together. They don't understand what the hell is their problem with their team. That's your offensive line, bro. That's all your skill positions. Yes, you had a hell of a wide receiver in George Pickens this past season. Yes, you just picked up DK Metcalf. But what about your running back room now? What about your offensive line now? What about the most important position in the damn league? Quarterback, bro. Y'all playing yourselves. So continue to play yourselves. And you're going to continue to be. We haven't had a winning season in X amount of years and then get your ass in the playoffs and get bounced out in the first round every single time. So for this idea or this notion that Aaron Rodgers is going to hold teams hostage again, you got to be an idiot. You have ignored everything that Aaron Rodgers has done for the last 2-3 seasons. Look how he left Green Bay. Look how much better Green Bay played without him. Look how he entered the Jets. He got hurt. And what happened when he came back? He wanted all his buddies in there. He wanted to point the finger. He lacked accountability. He wanted to take shots at media and cause distractions. Wasn't really focused on winning. You think it's going to somehow change with Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, and George Pickens in the locker room? Good luck. Good luck. It's just complete buffoonery to me. And I don't understand how teams and billionaires continue to fall for the okie doke. Yes, you're highly paid, but are you highly stupid as well? Come on, bro. Come on. We got to call a spade a spade. I don't necessarily know if Aaron Rodgers is gonna wait for the draft, but this point right now, him having teams waiting in free agency has been over for what, like 2 weeks now? Come on, Steelers. What are you doing? Come on, Giants. What are you doing? What are you doing, the Giants? Like, it makes no sense to me. But hey, they get paid all the money, and they're gonna be the stupid mofos to go out there and spend their money on a 40-year-old quarterback who's at best a C+ quarterback right now. What you? It's crazy how some people think he just gonna relive them older days. He ain't been the same for over 5 years, guys. Yes, he gonna go out there and have some games and give you some amazing throws every now and again. But did we somehow forget how the last few years in Green Bay ended? Did we forget that? Did we forget the tenure in New York? And now you want to bring that onto your team. If I was any franchise, I wouldn't be entertaining this. Yo, it's gonna be a backup. And it sounds crazy. It's a bit rude and disrespectful, but to hell with it. Business is business. He ain't been that. He ain't been that, bruh. So it's just crazy to me that Ian Rappaport has this belief. And I don't think he's just, you know what I'm saying, willy-nilly in it. I think there's some credence behind it. Got to be something that he's hearing. He's one of the best in the game, and I don't think he's just going to come out and say that. And if you go off history, how long did he keep the Jets waiting before he made that decision? And look how stupid they look. Hey, but that's it for me, y'all. That's my rant. I appreciate y'all for tuning into my TED Talk. But that is it for real, though. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of NFL Central, man. Make sure before y'all get up out of here, y'all hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you tuned in for those days that we are dropping on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And once the season kicks up, we're going to be cranking out a little bit more content. But as the off season continues, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let us know your thoughts and everything down below. We appreciate y'all over here on NFL Central. We're trying to make this the #1 spot because we believe this is the #1 spot for NFL Central and NFL fans all around the globe. So y'all make sure y'all tune in, man. I'm your host here, Bobby, and I'm out of here. Peace.